We need to talk. I owe you guys everything when it comes to this channel. Doesn't matter whether this channel is small or big. To me, this channel is my life's work, everything that I've done in the past few years. And honestly, even where I'm now, 6,000 subs in, I'm going to keep it real with you guys. I didn't think I could reach here. And I will say, I will primarily shout out the Overwatch community that has grown with me. Obviously, this is primarily an Overwatch channel, and you guys have been the best that I could have asked for. I'm not going to waste any time with this video. There's a lot I want to talk about. We're going to talk about the future of Overwatch, future of Marvel Rivals, and most importantly, the future of this channel. So again, you guys know I like getting straight to the point and not giving any like super long speeches about why I'm doing what. We just need to talk, okay? Things are looking pretty damn good for Marvel Rivals, and things are looking okay for Overwatch. Now, from a content creation standpoint, I love and enjoy both games. I have a huge passion for teaching, and I just really love sitting down and making guides. If you guys didn't know, I had a separate channel for Marvel Rivals over here. Now, that channel is not performing the way I would want it to perform, and I conducted a community post where I asked all of you your opinion on, well, how do you guys feel if I covered Marvel Rivals on the channel? Funnily enough, I asked this question almost 6, 7, 8 months back when I was in the first alpha, and the opinion was much different back then. And I think that was because a lot of you didn't have the chance to play the game yet or generate any proper interest because you didn't really connect with the game, the way I did, where I saw the potential and I was like, oh, this is actually really, really enjoyable and fun. And I think now a lot of you are giving me a lot of good advice. You're like, hey man, like people are growing the channel. We want to see you succeed. You should do it too. So I wanted to share with you guys the decision I've come to for the future of this channel and the future of the other channel is I want this channel to be my main source of content, and I just want to, in general, I think at this point, cover hero shooters or whatever captivates my interest. At the moment, I have a really big passion for everything superheroes. Trust me, guys, I freaking love superheroes, and Marvel is no exception. I love DC. To those of you that follow the channel, you know that I love Kamen Rider, Power Rangers, Super Sentai. I just love the concept of heroes and villains and their stories that are told. And if you guys didn't know, I am a pretty damn big fan of Marvel. Here, check this out. Look at my playtime for that game that flopped, Marvel Avengers, guys. Like, even though I would say the game had its issues, it was really fun to me. It was there for me during COVID, and man, I clocked in a lot of hours in that game. I had a lot of fun with it. And hey, check this out too, Marvel Snap. It's a card game. I love card games, and this one is a pretty damn good one as well. I really enjoy it despite its minor flaws here and there. At the same time, I played a lot of other Marvel games like Marvel's Midnight Suns, and I didn't get the chance to finish this one just yet. I've been kind of on and off with it, but I really do enjoy it. My point is that Marvel Rivals is literally up my alley in what I look for in a video game, and the best part about it all is that it provides me with a cohesive experience of the superheroes that are in it. So what do I mean by that? I basically mean, like, when you pick up any of the Marvel characters in Marvel Rivals, it genuinely feels like it's like a budget version of those characters from a single player game. That's what I adore about Marvel Rivals. Is like you could imagine them playing like this, obviously with a more detailed kit in single player games, because single player and multiplayer or co-op games, kits are going to vary for different reasons. But when you pick up these characters, I feel like, yeah, you know what, like I feel this. I get the flow of this kit. So Spider-Man, he does feel like a budget version from the different Spider-Man games that we've gotten. Iron Man, I was an Iron Man main back in the Avengers game, and Iron Man plays almost literally the same like he does. So it's a very close to heart thing for me, that Iron Man is kind of like that. And all the other characters too, like, they're just so fun and enjoyable. And that's where I started to realize that I have a lot more passion for what's going on in Rivals. And so I just wanted to share that with you guys. And I know a lot of you are probably wondering, like, what's the future, what's the direction of this channel? And primarily, look guys, I will be rightfully covering both games on the main channel over here. We will be officially rebranding to AbbyAZK from Abby Overwatch. Now, the other channel was called AbbyAZK, but what we're going to be doing is we're going to take the other channel and we are now going to call it Abby Coaching or AbbyAZK Coaching. And what we're going to be doing over there is the coaching experience that I offer and the WOD reviews that I may be doing for free. here and there, a couple of times a week or whatever, I'm going to be posting that over there. It's not going to be super over the top edited content, things like that. It's just going to be like different, VOD reviews that I do that will be available to you for free. Also, if you guys didn't know, I do have paid services that I offer through Patreon. I'm going to be reworking the Patreon a little bit as well to account for the, overall rebrand and the commitment to just, being a coach and a teacher. For those of you that don't know, I'm actually a teacher myself, and I really, really enjoy just, man, like sitting down, teaching people things, watching them do it, seeing the excitement in their eyes. Man, I freaking love that. Right, but at the same time, as a teacher, you also realize, like, when there are certain things that are not working on the back end, you have to criticize it. So when it comes to Overwatch, I adore Overwatch. I'm not quitting Overwatch. I feel like you can keep Overwatch and Marvel Rivals side by side. I don't think you have to pick a side that's really dumb. You can have two cakes, man. You can have two ice cream flavors. You know how you pick up a scoop in the ice cream in Baskin Robbins? The overpriced bullshit. And you can take a vanilla ice cream and you can take a chocolate ice cream. Please don't do those two as a combo. It's just an example. And you can put them together in one big box and you're like, yeah, now I feel vanilla. Now I want chocolate. So that's kind of the way I see it right now. It's like I feel like I can do both, and I just want to be honest with you guys that and I feel like a lot of you, when I did the community post, you gave me your feedback, you gave me your commentary, and you guys gave me the green light that, dude, we want to see you go for it, man, go for it, do this thing. We want to see you become something. So I really appreciate all that feedback. I really appreciate all the help, and I've been a little lost because I'm not gonna lie, guys. Like, I've been saying in a lot of my videos, like, I don't like talking negatively. I don't like talking negatively about Overwatch, but I'm somebody who keeps it real. I don't necessarily, like, I praise things when I feel like there is some deserve for praise, and then I criticize things where I feel like there is a need of criticism. Now, a lot of the times when I do criticize Overwatch, I feel like people don't understand what my version of Overwatch looks like, and that is that, I want Overwatch to be balanced from a little bit of a priority from the top down. I want heroes to be, balanced from a skill to reward ratio, and if there are heroes that are problematic, I would like to see them reworked. I don't like the current balance direction and philosophy, most importantly, in the balance team. I don't like that the easier heroes are being balanced in a way where they can be on the same power level as the harder heroes. That's not a balanced game to me. That is a game that's meant to appeal to casuals so they can come in, play 3 games of Overwatch while they're sniffing glue, and then, call it a day. I feel like my audience is not, something like that either. Then there's the problem that support as a role has been hilariously broken. Healing as a concept has been hilariously broken, and rather than actually directly ever address it, Overwatch keeps trying to find a blanket way around nerfing it. Guys, for God's sake, healing in Overwatch, the way we've nerfed it is by giving DPS not 10, not 15, not even 20, a 25% heal reduction. I did a video where I covered that the support power creep is getting out of hand. And you have to look me in the eye and tell me that, please tell me, in what world are we in now that the DPS role, where it's still cosmetic, by the way, it's still a joke, by the way, and to make it even relatively compete with the other roles, it needs to have a 25% heal reduction, man. That's what I just didn't appreciate. And, coming over to Marvel Rivals, when I started playing this game, I'm not trying to do a comparison thing. I'm trying to make you guys understand different perspectives. I felt like each of the 3 roles were overpowered in their own way, but then the more I played it, I realized actually the characters are relatively relative to one another with a very few outliers. I think all of us fundamentally agreed that Hela and Hawkeye are not on the same silliness level as the other characters. And then I think from strategists, Luna Snow in particular, her ultimate, not her kit, her ultimate is a bit too long. It's not on the same relativeness of other characters. I have a blistering hot take that I personally don't think Mantis is as OP as people make her out to be. I feel like Mantis plus Luna Snow is a very strong support comp, but take Mantis and put her with any other support and just watch how she just goes offline in that support composition, because she really does rely on Luna Snow's, consistent sustain and high healing uptime with Mantis to complement her kit and the double CC and the double sustain based ultimates, right? Swap that out to having a Loki plus Mantis, Rocket Raccoon plus Mantis, Cloak, Jeff, or Adam. Okay, Adam is like a bit debatable, but like, you will see that Mantis begins to fall off because her synergy with the other characters is just a little bit more awkward, and she's required to heal bot a bit more with the others. So, that's like, sorry, like, I'm just kind of going about on about Rivals as well, but like, those are the things, that stand out like a sore thumb that, okay, maybe this is over the top. Personally, I also think Groot is a little bit too silly right now, and nobody talks about it because nobody's playing him or actually understands how to play him. It was like the same thing where I believe even me, we all got Wolverine's placement hilariously wrong. We turned out like he is the Giga Tank Buster. If there's a tank or there is a tank based composition, he's gonna tear it apart. Most importantly, I think what I really enjoy about Marvel Rivals as well is that it's just so like I almost felt like they looked at the hero designs of which Overwatch heroes that people enjoyed the most, and they just took that and they copy pasted it across the board in as many roles as they possibly could have. They really emphasized a lot on combo ability based gameplay, which is what makes it so addicting and fun to play. Now, personally, I don't think I'm in the honeymoon phase with Marvel Rivals anymore, because you guys have to remember I clocked in about 200 plus hours across an alpha and a beta. I've played a lot of the game and I've played mostly almost all the characters, and I wouldn't necessarily say I'm bored of the characters, but I'm at that point where I want more. And I'm enjoying the game, but the most important thing that I'm enjoying about the game is it feels like the roles have actual like dedicated like jobs to do. That's one of the reasons for me Overwatch has just felt worse over time. Is, man, I played the game for 8 years. Overwatch, I could play it for another 8 years. I have no problem with that, and I may continue to play it, but in small handfuls. But just my problem with Overwatch right now is they are so obsessed with dividing the responsibilities of damage heroes across the other roles that they're not realizing this is why the damage role has started to go offline and is becoming more and more irrelevant. They refuse to address the insane healing power creep. The reason the power creep of healing in Marvel Rivals, to me at least, makes sense is there's absurd numbers of damages, but when you start feeling the absurd number of healing in the game, you will start to realize that all of them kind of balance one another out, and it just comes down to which team has the better players or which team is willing to expend resources, etc., etc. That's what makes it really cool, and something that makes it also really unpredictable and adds another layer of depth to it. Not only I feel like are people perhaps underrating some of the characters and the way they interact, but the team up mechanic is really what's going to hard carry this game. I'm going to respond to a video that Karku made, this does Marvel Rivals need role queue, and my personal answer to that was actually going to be no, where I was going to talk about in depth like how open queue can 100% work, and all Rivals need to do is make more of these really cool team up passives where you have all these characters running around complementing one another, DPS to DPS, support to support, and it's just going to make the game feel so much more complementary to one another than trying to put each other at a disadvantage. Like, I don't even think 2-2-2 is the best comp in Marvel Rivals, and again, it's just the beauty of this is what happens when you allow DPS to remain as a strong role or allow them to actually do proper effective damage. Is that's what happens with DPS. They're able to do their job and the game begins to feel right. I know I sound like I'm a little bit of a broken record over here, but trust me, like, damage as a role in Overwatch has just become an absolute joke. Unless you're hard abusing characters like Sojourn with the Mercy Pocket, but that is extremely important. And then number two, Widowmaker. Each of the damage characters just feels like they cannot do anything. They're existing to complement somebody else. They don't have individual agency as much as tanks and supports do. I'm sorry, that's just the reality of it. Otherwise, a lot of people wouldn't be feeling as ill about the damage roll. Nowadays, the damage roll queue times are an absolute joke as well, because there's nobody wants to play the role anymore, because you've just divided people to play tank and support by selling them on this dream that, well, this is more OP than damage. I don't think that's the right way to get people to play any of those roles. Anyways, but that's a topic for another day. My point is I'm just giving you guys my different perspectives on Marvel Rivals. And Overwatch. I will still be covering Overwatch. We're still gonna talk about balanced tier lists. We're still gonna cover like short guides or the usual Overwatch content that I do that you guys have grown to enjoy. We're also gonna be doing a lot of Marvel Rivals content here. Now, I'm not entirely sure because I need your opinion on this. Like, I don't know whether to delete some of the guides that I've done on the other channel or to just leave them over there online. I would like to post some of the more hard worked guides over here on this channel personally. Like, I put in a lot of effort for the Spider-Man guide because unintentionally I just became a Spider-Man main. Like, he is one of my favorite superheroes of all time, but I was actually trying to be an Iron Man main, but a lot of the games where I played Spider-Man, so if you guys didn't know, I'm already GM3, right? And I can make Spider-Man work, right? Of course, there's some games where it just doesn't happen, but more often than not, thankfully, we're in the lobbies that we've been playing, and I have a great tank and a great support player that play with me. we've been able to make it work. So the Spider-Man guide, I feel like I would really love to re-upload it over here and get you guys' feedback. So I really hope some of you have watched till this far. If you have watched it this far, then just give me a Spidey in the comments down below, and I really appreciate it if you reach this far. And that's just going to be the future of this channel, guys. Like, we're going to be doing a bit of a small rebranding. We're going to be doing a change in this channel. We're going to be trying our best to grow it out, and I would really, really appreciate it if you stuck by, if you helped support the channel. Again, to support the channel for free, all you have to do is hit like and subscribe. You just have to leave a comment. It helps with the algorithm, and it pushes my content to other people. And most importantly, if you want to help me financially, then do check out the Patreon. But I will be reworking it in the coming few days. Time is very scarce, and I do need different ideas of what I want to do, so it looks a little bit more appealing, what I can and cannot do. So that's going to be the future of this channel. That's my thoughts on Overwatch and Rivals, everyone. With that being said, I will see you in our next video tomorrow, which will be something very interesting for Marvel Rivals, where I'll try to explain how I climbed to GM3 in a total of 10 hours of playtime. With that being said, I'll see you in the next video.